Hey YouTube, it's Alexi Giovanni here for another Animal Crossing video. Today's video is all about watering flowers. One thing since the game started is I've always been obsessed with breeding these flowers. If you're new to the channel or an existing watcher, one thing you might know is that Alexi is just one half of Alexi Giovanni, and this is Alexi from the island of Oak Tree. By the end of this video you should be able to water like a boss. So if you find this video or other videos interesting, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so that you know when new videos get uploaded. One thing you'll learn when it comes to breeding flowers is that you can't do this alone, and so you tend to have to turn to the community or friends or family to come and water your flowers. One thing I did notice though is that the number of people who came to my island just didn't know how to best water flowers, so they would just randomly pour the water, miss flowers. So what this means is it makes it frustrating for you as the grower, and also frustrating for them because they're not doing it as quick as they possibly could. So I've marked on the ground here the space and the area that a regular watering can waters. So you can see where I'm standing, and around there's 6 spots that this will water. So where you stand plus the 5 surrounding flowers. So if you want to water efficiently, you'd want to stand in amongst the flowers so that you can get amongst that 6. So here I stand on the flower. So it's important to watch for those drips. So that's tip number 1, is watch for the drips. Same thing applies for pumpkins and other things that do need watering. So again, I'm standing in the middle on the actual pumpkin, and you can see the drips are actually taking effect. It's important to note that just that one water, once you see the drips, is enough to consider those flowers watered. I do remember, and I still laugh about the fact when my kids made fun of me, that I would water over and over and over again. And the one thing you need to do is, aside from the drips, is to watch for the actual sparkle. So you can see that you can get fairly creative when it comes to watering these flowers. So you can see I've got 2 flowers on either side. The benefit of this is that you can walk in one straight line and water both sides equally. So the good thing is, once you get a knack for this, you'll start seeing things in 6s and 9s, so you'll know where to stand for a 6 flower for a regular can. Or if you have a golden can, which you get for a 5-star island, you can then water up to 9 spots, which at the time I originally saw this, I thought it was a bug, to be fair. But the actual watering can for a golden watering can waters not just 6, but it waters 9 at a time. So it takes 1 extra row in front of you to water. So you won't see it in this video here, but you can see that I'm watering from that spot, but I'm effectively watering that area in front of me, which is a 9 area. So I'm going to see if I can find a place to show you where I'm watering 9 at a time. So we're just looking at some of the villages over here. Look at some green mums, which is close to having 9, but not quite. So maybe we might have to go and look for somewhere else. Let's not water weeds. No need to water weeds, unless you really want to grow them. So pardon me while I go for a bit of a wander. And the other thing of gold cans is it turns black roses into golden roses. So you can see here where I stand, I'm actually watering up until that fountain. So here I'm watering a 9 area in front of me. You can see those drips again. Make sure you see those drips when you do water, because once you do, your job is done. So let's see if we can find another area that's filled with flowers so that you can start to see the effect of watering on flowers. So depending on where you stand, you should be able to see those 6 reds and the black cosmos all being watered at one time. So just with 2 pours, I've covered off that much area. You can't get much quicker than that. And so often I find people try to do this, and if you do stand that little bit too far forward, you'll notice that you don't cover those behind you. So if you ever find yourself in that situation, just realign yourself, step back a little bit, make sure you step on that flower, and this way you're back to watering that 9 again. It's also worth noting that you can water from too far behind, so you'll find yourself not watering that row in front of you. So again, just realign yourself. When it comes to watering, be conscious of the fact of where the flowers are. In this case, these 6 here are completely trapped. Nothing can grow. So there's no point in watering them. Unless, of course, you're doing a video on how to water flowers. So I picked a bad spot to show you this. So one other thing is, I've noticed when people do come to the island, and I've had countless number of people to come over to my 2 islands, is that watering flowers on the beach has no effect whatsoever. So you might water them, you might see the drips, you might see the sparkle, but there's no benefit in doing that because they just will not grow on sand. So if you're ever watering and going to someone's island to help them water, don't water their flowers on their beach. With all that, brings us to the end of this tutorial on how to water flowers. I do hope you found this insightful on how to better water your flowers. And not just yours, it's flowers that you go and visit someone else's island for to try and help them. They'll love you for it.